Hey you guys, Desmond here.
And Creech.
Welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to talk about the King of Drags. So before we sit here and talk about the King of Drags, I'm going to have to remind everyone to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know, we got to grow. So, LaCresha, can you tell the world what you thought about this here second episode of the King of Drag?
This is actually a really good episode. It's really funny. I actually laughed out loud a little bit.
Honestly, this should have been the episode they started with and did last week's challenge this week. So, because this was a really good episode. Really good episode. I chuckled. I liked their version of the Snatch game because that's honestly what it was. But I thought it was cute. Thought it was fun.
Yes.
So, let's go ahead and get up in this here episode. So, we start off here with Murray giving us a little jokey joke or two. You know, a little ha-ha, a little hee.
So...
I was doing just fine until you started laughing.
He's gonna keep going.
I was gonna go. I was gonna try to do the whole episode. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Listen, I was grown up around there right there. That's how they talked around here, alright?
Trust me, I know. You act like I ain't live around them parts.
But you weren't around them parts back when I was little, and everybody, you know, over time our accents kind of, you know, balanced out like how mine just did. But back when I was little, this all I heard right here, okay? Listen here. My granny boyfriend, he talked just like Boomhauer, okay? That's why when I went back to rewatch The King of the Hill, I was able to understand Boomhauer with no issue. I'm like, that is my granny's old boyfriend right there. Ain't gonna say his name because fuck him. But baby, that's how he talked right there. I understood every word he said. All right, okay.
Oh, all right.
And like,
did you know they redid King of the Hill?
Yeah, they're bringing it back. They revived it. That's what made me go back and watch.
I'll get to watch because you know.
Yeah, I went back to watch before all that shit happened with old dude. But when I was watching, I'm like, as a kid, I couldn't understand Boomhauer. But as an adult, I'm like, I fully understood what he just said right there. Fully understood him. Everybody's like, huh? And I'm like, baby, did you not hear the man? But hey. So, Murray Hills here told a few jokes, and we got a little clip from after Tuna Melt's elimination last week. All the kings are sitting around. Lena here is really in his feelings. Baby, he's like, it could have been me. And I'm like, it could have been. Honestly, really? It could have been. Neither one of y'all were the best there. But they went around, they congratulate King Molasses on getting the first win of the season. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Team King Molasses.
Yes.
Team King Molasses. So it's the next day inside the man cave. Everyone comes in out of drag for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They sat down. They had a very important conversation about pronouns. And honestly, I just really enjoyed hearing a little bit more of their stories. Especially Pressure. Like, hearing Pressure has, what's the name of it? PCOS. And how much she just embraced it. And was like, hey, I'm a bearded lady, okay? I am a bearded lady. I'm like, you better. But yeah, just loving hearing everybody's stories, just getting a little piece, just making me like them even more.
That's her thing. Like, that's what that actually is. Like, everybody's like, oh my god, you're a freaking nature because you got a beard. And then realizing, oh wait, no, it was a medical condition that these people just happen to have.
Yeah. It happens. So Murray comes in and was like, "Who are all y'all?" I love that. Right? I love when RuPaul does that too. But like, who are y'all? These are not who I guess.
Who are these men? I don't know these men.
Right, who are these people here? So it's now time for the Weenie Challenge, and to help out with the Weenie Challenge, Jeff Hiller's coming in. and we find out that this week's theme is comedy.
Yes.
So, for the Weenie Challenge, they're going to have to do a quick little improv where they have to mansplain in teams, they have to mansplain 3 different things. And I feel like I'm better at it now, but I used to be one of those that would mansplain. And once I caught myself doing it, I'm like, oh God, Desmond, stop. It's gross. And I work with a lot of guys, and I hear them doing it, and I could just see the looks on everybody's faces, like,
oh yeah, trust me, I work with people like that too. I know teachers who do that. Like, there are female teachers who do stuff like that. who like, seriously. Like, I have literally had like mama bear situations. And sometimes you do have to explain stuff to people like that. Like, I've pretty much been on full on TikTok PD all summer. For the little bit of summer that I've had, it was TikTok PD for me. So I'm sitting here like, I don't know how to implement small groups. How the hell do I do that? Like, what? Like, I know small groups from a SPED perspective. I don't know small groups from a teacher's perspective because I've never seen a teacher do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've had people talk about it, and I'm an interventionist, so the interventionists come and they do pullouts and stuff like that. But other than that, I've never seen a teacher do small groups. And so finally, it was like, it doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to do all this. It is quite literally find them some stuff to do. I've realized now where I go wrong a lot of the time with me instructing people is I skip steps, because in my mind, that should be common sense, that this is where your next step should go. And although I slowed it down for some math, I haven't slowed it down for all math. And I'm like, oh wait, I have to go like step by step by step by step. Even though, as dumb as it feels, because like we were sitting there and we were doing interactive notebooks at the beginning of the year, and I was like, okay, we're going to take the paper and we're going to cut the paper. And they were like, okay. And I sat there and waited till everybody's done cutting. Okay, now we're going to get the glue. And we're going to go to the back of the paper. And then I was like, there is a reason why I am teaching you like this. Because if I don't, you're going to do it wrong. You're going to put it wherever you want to put it. And some of them still did it. Even after I was like...
But see, I have a little bit more, I guess, tolerance for the little ones. Because, they're learning how to human.
Right.
So,
I mean, and that's
especially now that I'm so involved with my nieces and nephews, I have to... They're learning how to human, right. Desmond. Do not... Just break it down. It's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. They're learning how to human, even if they're fussing at me saying I'm doing it wrong.
Right. I mean, because here's the thing. Like, I'm having to evolve and cycle, if that makes any kind of sense. Because when I was younger and had the patience for some kids, it was like, oh, okay, cool, I have patience for kids and I could do this. Then as I got older and I wanted my own kids, I'm like, no, I really need to be like super duper patient because, you got to have empathy for some of these kids and da 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 da. Then when I figured out that my body hated me and wouldn't let me do the one thing that a woman could do, that was a big hit that I took, and it has taken a really long time to come to terms with the fact that, my body's not going to do what it is built to do. And then when I had my hysterectomy and everything was taken out, I'm better now, but I'm still not quite healed. And bringing to task the fact that I can't do that for somebody. That's part of the reason why I've not really put much into dating, why I've just purposefully been single for as long as I've been single. Even with that man in the background, I still consider myself having been single because I'm like, well, what do I have to offer somebody? I barely know how to people. I can't hold a straight conversation. And when I was 9, I could hold a conversation with an adult and have an intellectual conversation. And I have had so much brain rot over the last however many years that, like, me having a conversation with somebody, I don't know what to say next. And then, like, in California was one thing, because I know all about California. I could talk about California, talk about San Francisco, Oakland, Chico, Fresno, Fremont. I've been all those places. Oh, San Diego, yeah, that's cool. Long Beach, yeah, I've been there before. Yada, 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 yada. I can talk California all the time. But being here in Texas, even though I have been in Texas for, at this point in time, 15 years, 15, not 20. 15 years. Shut up. I was not here in 2000. Even though I've been in Texas for 15 years, like, I can't talk Texas with none of these people because I don't go anywhere, I don't do anything, so I know nothing of Texas. When I lived out where you live, it was like everybody would just sit there and talk all around me because I know nothing. I don't know any of the families, I don't know any of the lore, I don't know anybody's background. It wasn't till I was about to leave that I started asking, do you know so and so, so and so, and so and so that I would stop accidentally making the connections that I was making. Because, I know nothing of this place. So it really freaking sucks.
Honestly, that's how I felt when I first came to this town, because, I'm not from here.
Right.
So that was an adjustment, but now that I've been here, let's see, we came when I was 9. So I've been here 20 plus years. Yeah, because we moved in when I was 9. So I grew up with the lore. Now I'm looking back and be like, oh, this is why this makes sense. I'm finally old enough to learn some of the family secrets. Right. But see, you grew up and I just, I was never integrated into it and I was never given any background. It was just kind of like, oh, you don't know it? Oh, well, we're just going to shut you out of the conversation then. And it's just going to be me and this person. And so, I went from being an extremely talkative person to somebody who, one, craves conversation and can't have it, and also somebody who craves conversation but now no longer knows how to have a conversation. I get that. Well, let's get on back into the episode. So they do the mini challenge. They have to go through Mary's sack to figure out what they're going to mansplain, and they do it in teams of 3. Now, the very first team, I didn't get a screenshot of them, but it was Buckwild. Who were the other 2? Alexander. And was it Dick too? I don't remember, but that first group, they flew through it so easily. I'm like, because it doesn't have to make sense as long as it's an actual sentence. And theirs was the only one that makes sense, so it makes sense why they won the mini challenge. Wait, I think I might have a screenshot. Yes. So it was, who's this? Hell no. It's not Hell no. Let me look at my notes. Let me see. Henlo. I keep saying Hell no. It's Henlo. But yeah, Henlo, Buckwild, and Alexander, it flowed out of them like water. It didn't make 100% sense, but that's not what they were looking for. And then the other groups are just kind of like, I'm like, well, what are y'all doing? Especially the group that... Go ahead.
Keep going.
Especially the group that Perka started. Perka's first word, I'm like, whoa, that ain't got nothing to do with the topic.
Right. Testicles.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, what is you doing? Oh, but anyway. They want a shopping spree from this place here. Road
Itch.
And we find out that this week's Beefy Challenge is they will have to do the dong show.
The dong show instead of the bong show. Instead of the gong show. The dong show.
So with the dong show, they have to impersonate a celebrity and show their hidden talent. So I'm like, okay, I like how y'all are, trying to do y'all's own thing here. And overall, the dong show in general was really good. I was really impressed. I was like, okay, y'all, we should have started off with this. But speaking of said dong show, for the dong show, we are joined by our judges, Tenderoni, Sasha Velour, Wayne Newton, our extra special guest judge, Jeff Hiller, and Bridget Everett. Now,
producer Bridget Everett.
Never heard of this lady, but I'm obsessed with her now.
She's a producer. She's behind the scenes. Yeah, that's why.
Love her. I'm like, come back anytime.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, as always, Sasha gets an A+. I know we don't typically do that here, but just gotta give a little shout out to Sasha. She looked good. So the Tenderoni. A+ to you too, sir. Now, it is time for the dong show. So quickly, I'm going to go over who everybody is, and then we'll talk about the talents and whatnot. So, for the devil, we have Buck Wild. Justin Bieber was portrayed by Alexander the Great. I got 2 screenshots of that for some reason. Sylvester Stallone was Big D. Steve Irwin was Dick Von Dyke. Jack Black was Henlo Bullfrog. Ira Glass, which never heard of him before. Ira Glass was King Molasses. Nosferatu was Charles. Steve Irwin was Percocet. And Rick Ross was Pressure K. And this is our wonderful 9 people.
Our gaggle of celebrities.
Our gaggles. So at first we had the devil, who was Buck Wild, who was giving us a salsa performance and then turned around and made some salsa?
That's what I assume it was, because there's no lower third on there, so...
I'm like, okay, alright, so we're doing the salsa, now we're making some salsa, and then added the secret ingredient, and I guess it was too hot, so then splashed the water on you, but then you still fell out. I was like...
I don't know.
I was worried for the dong show, with this being the opening number. I'm like, oh, are they all gonna be like this?
Yeah. I'm like, are they all gonna be this underwhelming?
Yeah, I think you should have stuck with the salsa, and then maybe just pulled out some already made salsa and put some. I don't know how to make this.
I don't know. Pulled out the hot sauce and called it a day.
But up next we have Alexander the Great as Justin Bieber doing some tap dancing. And we saw earlier in the episode that Alexander has a lot of different skills that he could have pulled out here.
Definitely.
I thought the tap dancing was lovely. But there was no Justin Bieberisms, you know what I'm saying?
No Bieberisms, and it was supposed to be comedy, and there was just nothing to laugh at. It was like, oh, look, you tap. Yay.
And the tap was impressive. I'm like, okay, tap, come on. But yeah, I agree with the judges. It was just kind of like... Meh. So, up next is Big D, Sylvester Stallone. The talent was trying to fold a fitted sheet. I thought this was hilarious.
It was.
I thought this was so good. And I love the point, like, yeah, I'm domestic now. I'm like, oh. I'm like, yeah, I heard about your TV show that you have. Is it Paramount Plus? I think it's Paramount Plus.
I don't know.
He has a reality show with his family. I think it's Paramount Plus. It might be. Let us know in the comments if you know where it is. Um, but yeah, I thought it was funny. I love the parts where we really couldn't understand him.
Phenomena.
Well, I need to watch that lip sync again. That was such a good lip sync. Anyway,
that was a really good lip sync.
But anyway, great job, Big D. Like, people sleeping on Big D, but
they really are.
I can see Big D, if keep going in the way that he's gonna get him a couple wins eventually. Now, I still think King Molasses is gonna win, but Big D,
right?
Big D's right there, be like, hey, don't forget about me. I'm right here with you. I'll be the Nina Flowers to your BB Zahara Benet. So up next is Steve Irwin, who we got Dick Van Dyke here, who played a little instruments and did a little crocodile hunting. Overall,
and I guess it was their Packer that was the most impressive thing.
I guess so.
Everybody kept commenting on it.
But overall, I thought this was entertaining. I was confused on how they both merged together, but somehow it just kind of worked.
The music and Steve Irwin?
Yeah. But it kind of worked. I'm like, okay, I thought the impersonation was really funny.
Right.
Especially the part when it was time to get the crocodile, alligator, whichever one it was, and he started backing his butt up to the camera. I'm like, okay, this is funny. I'm here.
Right.
So we're going to move on to Jack Black, who was Henlo, not Hell No, Henlo. And, making a sandwich inside of it. But the big thing for me is the whole playing the trombone with your foot.
Yeah, you should just stick to the playing the trombone with your foot.
But for some reason, it also gives like a very Jack Black thing. Like, yeah, Jack Black would play the trombone with his foot.
If Jack Black was skinny, he definitely would play the trombone.
I can see him trying that. I can truly see him trying that.
Because I'm pretty sure if he would either sit there and try to play the drums with his or he would sit there and try to play the trombone with his foot.
But overall, I thought this was really funny. It was really cool. The sandwich part was a little weird, but hey, I liked it. And I love how they show like a little flashback when they were in the man cave, and they're like, you're going to end up on a weird side of the internet doing that. So I'm like, yeah, you're going to end up on the weird side of the internet. You are. So up next is King Molasses doing Ira Glass. Never heard of Ira Glass, have you?
No, but they made me want to know who this person was.
I thought this was hilarious. Stayed in character the whole time, and doing the whole fitness bit with the push-ups, and even the little interview afterwards. It was just so like bam, bam, bam. I'm like, oh, this is really good.
Right. Like you need to be on Snatch Game.
Like I can see King Molasses doing like a one-man show with just this character, and I would be in the audience living for all of it,
captivated.
Like it was. So
it don't help that my whole lesbian is reawakening right now. Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh my god, Desmond's gonna be on me so bad because I am thirsting so hard right now.
I'm finna say I'm used to the thirsting at this point, so thirst away.
I am thirsting so bad right now, but see, at least it's just one of them. I'm not thirsting on all of them. I recognize my problem, Lord.
But yeah, I thought this was a great job by King Molasses. A really good job. So up next is Charles as Nosferatu, and a dramatic reading of What Does the Fox Say? This should not have worked, but it did.
It did so good.
It was so funny to me, especially when it got to the sounds for the fox.
I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
I thought this was amazing. Amazing. Up next, we have Percocets giving us some Steve Urkel. And then went through a machine here that turned him into a blue hedgehog because they couldn't say Sonic.
Right.
And yeah, I didn't know that the actor that plays Steve Urkel, Jamil White, voiced Sonic. I didn't know that. I learned that here.
Facts.
And I'm like, oh, okay, now I see why you're a blue hedgehog. Okay, but yeah, that wasn't a well enough reference for everyone to know because me and you didn't know that.
Okay, who are you telling? Because you know how many times I've had to watch Sonic as a second grade teacher.
But yeah, even the ending part, I'm like, what's happening here? I'm confusion. Very much confusion. And then last but definitely not least, we have Pressure giving us some Rick Ross, who is into ribbon tossing. When I tell you the cackle I let out when Pressure pulled out the ribbon. Just looking at the screenshots now, this had me hollering.
It was even funnier when it got tangled in his arm and he had to like fling it off.
And like it's still in character, like had some Rick Rossisms going wrong. It's still just, I'm like, this works for me. I thought this was amazing. Mm-hmm. So much fun. So after we got so after the Dong Show, the judges decided that the tops and the bottoms are as followed. In the top, we have Big D, Dick Von Dyke, and King Molasses. In the bottom, we have Alexander, Buck Wild, and Percocets. Do you agree with this top and bottom placements?
Yeah.
For the most part, I think I would have switched out Dick with either Pressure or Charles. With one of them too. But Dick did a good job too, so yeah. This was all fine with me. So we find out that the winner for the second week in a row is King Molasses. Do you agree with this win?
Into my Ricky Lake stud awakening. Feed into it, please.
Yeah. Do you agree with King getting this second win?
I'm going to be brutally honest and say no.
Oh, who did you think was going to take the win?
Did they deserve it? Yes. Did they deserve to have a second win? Yes. But I honestly think Big D probably should have got this.
Big D was really second for me. Honestly, it could have been a double win, but I am okay with King Molasses taking it.
And I am okay with King Molasses winning.
So afterwards, we found out that the bottom two this week is Buck Wild and Percocets. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't really want to put Buck Wild there, but it was just kind of like looking at the lineup, everyone did better than you. Like you weren't, like Percocets was a gimme. But like that second spot, I was kind of like, because nobody did as bad as you. And it's not like Buck Wild did bad. It was more confusing than bad. So we find out for the final thrust, they have to put together a 1 minute stand-up set, keeping the comedy thing going. So we see them in the back getting ready for their minute, and we heard both of their stand-up sets. Which one of their stand-ups was better?
I'm not gonna lie, Percocet was able to get to their punchline a little bit faster. Like they had multiple punchlines that they were able to get through, because other than that, the other king just was a little long-winded, And I get that because I do that too, where I have a bunch of asides and I want to, because I want you to see the whole picture. Okay, now I'm going to get into the story. Now I'm going to give you the punchline.
I have to agree with you. Buck Wild, I felt like told a better story, but didn't finish within the 1 minute time frame, where Percocet comes in and does a really good job and stays within the 1 minute time frame. Finished up as the dong was going off, like a few seconds before, honestly. So I agree with 4 of the fellow judges who agreed that Percocet should have stayed. Now, I didn't want Buck Wild to go.
No.
I'm like, oh, I already want an All-Stars because we need Buck Wild back. But I do agree with Perka staying. And side note, I saw on Twitter earlier that Buck Wild met Buck Wild from Flavor of Love.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh my God, I love that so much. But yeah. So he stays, which unfortunately means Buck Wild must go away. So we go through the ceremony. He gets his flowers. And that is it. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Buck Wild. Now, I saw the clip on Twitter earlier for the little sneak peek for this week. Well, for tonight. And 2 kings are going home.
Well, they only had 6 episodes.
Yeah, we only got 6 episodes. That means 2 kings are finna go. And I'm like, oh no, this is not going to be a good night for me. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here. Cresha, tell the children where they can find you.
You can find me at Cresha McGill. That's CRESHAMCGILL on all social media.
And
I'm gonna have to
you can find me in the club, Pocket Full of Bud Mama. But if I'm not there, you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Bye.